we've both been really business driven and
Mm-hmm.
business successful. And then we've gone, hang on a second, why am I like this? And we question it,
Mm-hmm.
or the universe gave us these opportunities to look at ourselves and go, hang on a second, I'm just like reacting in such a crazy way to protect myself. And is this drive, like, am I fulfilled? Holy crap, I'm not. And then you start looking inwards. And then I feel like there's a transition where you do a chunk of the work. And because it's a different mode to showing up in business, it doesn't yield as solid of a result because your strategies, you haven't learned to do a new way of business. The old way was clear. The new way is new. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious to know, like, your authentic experience in transitioning from being in business and doing it from like I just know that I want to be successful and I need to make it work and grow, grow, grow. Same as
Mm-hmm.
me. And then how did you and have you fully been able to integrate back into growing a business in a way that's healthy? And what's different about it? Are you more successful, less successful? Are you on the journey of it? I'd love for you to talk to that because I'm curious for
Mm.
myself, and I'm also kind of at some point in that journey as well.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like that's the first question you asked me, and I got totally sidetracked. So I will try to answer this one
Nah, it's been
directly.
great.
um, so I was absolutely driven to prove myself in my business. So it
Same.
was, yeah, it was very like I needed to prove my worth, my validity, my value, my enoughness to the world. And that was what drove everything. And it was all very external, which
Yeah,
is why I was driven to build a personal brand, why I was doing speaking and TV and,
yeah,
you know, winning awards and all these things that were very visible. It was because I needed that to continually feed that void in me that said
yeah,
that I wasn't enough, to be like, oh, look, you got another award. You are enough until,
totally.
and like so many of us have experienced, like every time you hit a goal or reach something, like you were already focused on the next thing, the emptiness didn't go away, and
Mm,
it's just a never end. You're just chasing a never ending bunny rabbit. I don't know. You're like a dog chasing a rabbit with no idea why you're chasing it, right? You're just going down this path and nothing
sure.
ever, you can't ever catch that thing. And I think I realized that, that would have been around the time of my marriage ending and everything, was when it all started kicking off. Like my dad died in 2013. That definitely started the questioning of like, why am I doing all the things I'm doing? And
Mm,
he hadn't retired yet, and he was working toward this goal of retirement. That's what he wanted to do. And
wow,
he hadn't been on vacation for like 5 years. And I was like, so that sort of started the questioning. And then
wow.
um, my ex-husband and I moved to America. We were living in this amazing ski resort in Beaver Creek, in Colorado. We had like a 8-bedroom, 8-bathroom mansion. We'd like sold some companies. Our net worth was, several $1,000,000. We had other businesses going. Like so many things were like as they were meant to be by the
Mm,
book. And looking around my life, I literally had everything I'd ever wanted and could want, but I just felt hollow inside. The pain was there, and there was
mm,
nothing more externally that I could stuff that hole with. It was
yeah.
like I needed to let it out and feel it and be who I truly was and go on this journey that I've been on. So
Yeah. Now,
I think it
a
was,
quick interlude on that. You are either going to be in one of two camps. You're either going to be in a position where you're already successful and you can just resonate with it, or
mm-hmm,
you could be in the third category and you're just like really on the journey, or you could be in a position where you haven't really gotten everything that you kind of feel like you wanted. And in that case, there's this, it's like everyone is told that money doesn't make you happy, but people just usually need to figure that out on their own. Like I heard it a million
mm-hmm,
times, disregarded it every single time, didn't give a shit, didn't change my motivation at all. And then when I got it, I instantly went, oh fuck. Every single time I heard that, which was hundreds and hundreds of times, I disregarded it.
yeah,
And so I feel like, this can be a really good, I don't feel like it's going to stop you if you're really driven to make it and have that as the attachment to your self-worth. But at least you can kind of hear the truth of what's going to happen. And then when it does happen, you're not all shocked. And then you can just start doing the
yeah.
work.
I think Jim Carrey said, like, I wish everyone could have millions of dollars so they know that it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Like, it
Jim
just,
Carrey's a really awesome
oh
guy.
my God, he's
A
like my
crazy
hero.
character.
I love him. Yeah. But yeah, that's basically what happened. I was just like, well, it didn't matter how much I had. I felt the pain and the emptiness and the existential crisis and everything that had always existed in me still existed. So, that was my point. And, I did the work back then to look into like, well, why, like what's actually driving me? And it was all of that proving and everything. And then, I went through a couple of years that was mainly 2018. Yeah, it would have been about a year where I sold out of Wealth Enhancers, ended my financial planning career, which felt like my life's work at that time.
It
I
was
had
your life's work at that time.
yeah, it was. And I had very strong attachments to being a finance expert, being a successful entrepreneur within that sector. I mean, I did have a couple of other businesses that were in different fields, but I hadn't sold them. I knew the formula in financial planning. Like I knew how to build something and sell it and do that. And I went through this time of, it was probably only about 3 or 4 months because I was so uncomfortable in that period of not doing anything. But I went through this 3 or 4 month period of like trying to not do anything to try to figure out what was next. And I had so much self-doubt come up and so much just like, you're nothing. Like everything is in the past. You did it. You got lucky. You had business partners. Maybe you're not anything. It was all a fluke. Like every possible form of self-doubt that you can
Thanks for the
imagine.
vulnerability. It's really beautiful.
Yeah, my pleasure. Everything you could imagine came out in me, and I just, it was so hard for me to like do nothing. I started mentoring all these other businesses. I got on boards. Like I was just doing all this stuff because it was just so uncomfortable for me to like do nothing. And then I ended up having a breakdown. Like in 2018 in October, I had an actual breakdown. It was just, I couldn't go anymore.